name's Alexandra. I'm going to show you how to get rid of your hip pain fast. So this is part 2 of how to get rid of your hip pain fast. So I'm going to go through the other 8 stretches. So this is going to be like 15 in total that everything's going to add up to. And I'm going to have a bonus hip stretch at the end. So make sure you watch the whole video so you can see the bonus stretch. Okay, so the first stretch and how to get rid of your hip pain fast is this is part 2. So this is number 9, I think. So this is triangle pose. Now, see, just basically this way. So you don't want to lock your knee, and you just want to be as open as possible. And you should feel the stretch down here in the inner thigh. And you basically just keep yourself open like this, and you just hold the position. And you don't want to have your knee locked. That's the most important thing. You just want to have yourself open. That's number 9. All right, so number 10, just a simple lean, stretch and breathe, and reach with your arm. And you feel the stretch right here. Same thing on the other side. Reach and breathe all at the same time. And you want to breathe slowly, and you feel a stretch right down here. Alright, so you're in Warrior 2, and this is number 11. So what you want to do is you want to lean back just a little bit and reach with your arm, and again you feel the stretch right down here. And you can lean back further and make this foot straight, and then you can reach further, and the stretch, you feel it deeper. So you can do it that way. And then you would lean forward, and you can move the arm as you're doing it, but you want to breathe as you're moving the arm, and you feel the stretch right down this side. And then you would switch sides, and you want to do the same thing. So you would breathe as you're reaching, and you feel it down here. And then the same thing, you would reach forward, and you would feel it down here again. This is also good for your shoulder, because you feel it straight down, all the way down your whole side into your hip as you're reaching. So it's also good for your shoulder. All right, this is stretch number 13. The Dancing Warrior, that was like 11 and 12, like combined. So this is number 13. All right, so you can use a chair. You can also use the stairs for this stretch. You would use the second step if you're using the stairs, but you can do it with a chair also. So you just lean forward, and you feel the stretch right in the inner thigh right there. So all you're doing is just leaning forward. That's it. It's very simple. It's very effective. And you would do the other side, and you feel it in the same spot. That one's very good for the hip also. All right, so number 14, you're sitting in a chair, something to basically kind of lift you up just a little bit, and you want to be on like the edge of the seat. This way your hip is a little bit more out, and because you want your leg not completely supported. You want to be a little further out. So what you want to do is you want to push down just a little bit on your knee, and this basically does like an outer rotation. It helps with the range of motion with the hip. So this is just helping you with the rotation of the hip. You're just pushing down on your knee. That's all it is. And then you would switch, and you would do the same thing. So you just push down just a little bit, hold it for like a few seconds, and that's it. Alright, this is number 15. Okay, so 15, you go down on one knee, and you just lean forward just a little bit, grab your ankle, and lift it up just as close as you can to your butt basically, and then you feel the stretch in the inner thigh. Now you don't worry about how far you can get your leg. If you can get it just a little bit, that's fine. As long as you feel the stretch in here, it's fine. You don't have to get up all the way. And then you got the other side, same thing. Just lean forward and you should feel it right in there. And now if you can't do it that way, you can just sit down on the floor and just move your leg as far back as possible, and you still feel it in here. So you can do it sitting on the floor too. So you would just switch like that and just pull it back as far as possible, and you would feel in there. Okay, so when you're doing these stretches, basically you want to get into a routine. If you can, you want to basically get into like a yoga routine. That's really helpful. You want to do the stretches as often as possible. Maybe at least twice a day if you can. If you can do it every other day, that's good too. And it's really good if you get into a yoga routine. What I did was, I did yoga for like a year, but my hip injury was pretty bad, so I did it for a whole year. But the best thing to do is to pick up a couple of yoga DVDs. It's cheaper that way. You don't have to pay that monthly fee. You just buy it the one time for like 20-something bucks, and you can use it every day at home, and you can just go through the hip stretches. So you can pick up a yoga DVD that's focused on hip stretches or beginner's yoga, anything that's like beginner or like hip stretching. I'll put some links below the video that'll give you some basic yoga hip stretches. And also, if you're in the process of strengthening your legs, your core, your hip, you might want to try the booty belt. That one should really help you strengthen your core, your thighs, your glutes. It's a really great workout. Helps you to lose weight. It also helps you to get those abs. It's just a really great workout. That's the booty belt. I'll put the link also below the video for that, and I'll put a link to the video that shows some exercises that you can do with that. So I'll put all those links below the video, so make sure you check below the video for all the links. Okay, so the first one we have here is the TENS unit. Now this one is the one with the pads. You would put these on the affected area. Of course, either your knees or your hip or your shoulder, wherever it hurts. Okay, if you're doing your shoulder, basically it's like a smaller area. So for that, you would maybe just use 2 of the pads, and you would maybe put it on like level 2 or 3. You wouldn't want to put it too high. Now, if you're doing your hip, for starters, you might want to do the same thing like level, 3. You don't want to put it too high. Same thing when you're just starting out with any type of joint area. Just, adjust it as you're going. That's the TENS unit. I'll link it down below. And this one here that I have, this is what you call the Pure Wave. Now, this one is a little bit more expensive. You don't have to get the Pure Wave. I'm not saying you do. But if you are in a lot of pain, I would recommend the TENS unit. It is a lot cheaper, and it's really helpful. I used this like a lot when I was in a lot of pain. I mean like a lot. I mean like twice, maybe even 3 times a day I used this. And it really helped me out. So you might want to check out the TENS unit if you have a lot of joint pain. But the Pure Wave has a few extra gadgets, and it just, massages. You can use it on the hip. You can use it on your back, if you want, your side, whatever. But I'll just link these down below, and I'm also going to link down below a video that shows how to strengthen your legs and your hip. It's a product called the Booty Belt. So if you want to strengthen, your thighs and your hip, and you're at that point where you really want to strengthen, your legs, I would recommend checking out the Booty Belt. So check out the links down below, and yeah, that's it for this video. So thank you for watching. This was how to get rid of your hip pain fast. Thanks. Okay, so this one is a bonus stretch. This is for your hip. This helps with sciatica. It basically helps to stretch the piriformis muscle. So this helps with sciatica, not just the hip. It helps a lot of things. So what you do is you just lie down. You cross one foot over the knee. This is called a Pigeon Pose, basically. So you just put one leg over the other, and you want to pull this as close as you can to your chest. and you feel the stretch right down here, and this is right by the piriformis muscle right in the hip, and that stretches it really well. It's also good for the IT band, for the tendon. So if your tendon, if you have pain, this one also works. And you would just do the other side, same thing. Bring your other leg in as close as possible, and you feel it right down in here. This one's really effective. It helps if you have trouble, basically sitting Indian style. So if you have trouble, with your lower back sitting this way, just work on this one, like a few times a day, and that should really help. Another one that should help is one I showed earlier in the video. I showed it in part 1, where you just do the simple seated twist, and you just hold it like that. That one's also good for sciatica, and it's also good for the tendon. So that's it. That completes the video of the series for the hip stretches, and that should really help you get rid of your hip pain fast.